Today, my husband just texted me from a romantic dinner with a woman 11 years younger than me. Tonight. On the day we got married 9 years ago. And the worst part? I'm the one who gave him permission. Hi, I'm Emma, and today I'm sharing a story that will shake everything you think you know about modern relationships. This is about Elaine, a woman who thought she'd found the perfect solution to a dying marriage. But sometimes, the doors we open lead us to places we never wanted to go. This is a journey through heartbreak, regret, and painful lessons learned the hardest way possible. So get comfortable, because you need to hear every detail of how one decision destroyed everything. Elaine was 34 when everything fell apart. But at the time, she thought she was being smart, progressive, modern. She'd been with Marcus since college, 9 years of marriage, 2 kids, a house in the suburbs. From the outside, they looked perfect. But inside that house, their marriage was already dead. They just hadn't admitted it yet. The passion was gone, completely evaporated. They were roommates who occasionally had obligatory intimacy. You know the kind I'm talking about? The kind where you're just going through the motions, checking a box, fulfilling a duty. Elaine felt suffocated by routine. She'd catch herself daydreaming about excitement, about feeling desired again, about being something other than just mom and wife. She was drowning in predictability. One night after the kids were asleep, Elaine made the decision that would change everything. What if we saw other people? Marcus stared at her like she'd lost her mind. But then something unexpected happened. He didn't get angry. He didn't walk out. He asked questions. They stayed up until 3 a.m, mapping out rules and boundaries like they were drafting a business contract. It felt mature, intelligent, like they were taking control instead of becoming another divorce statistic. The rules were simple. Rule 1, their marriage always came first. Rule 2, complete honesty, no secrets. Rule 3, no falling in love with other people. Physical connection only. They actually shook hands on it, like signing a deal that would save them both. Looking back, Elaine realizes how devastatingly naive they were. Elaine didn't waste a single day. She was creating dating profiles before Marcus even finished downloading his first app. And the response was immediate. Her inbox exploded with matches, messages, opportunities. She went on dates, had adventures, nothing serious, nothing emotional. Just excitement and attention and reminders that she was still attractive, still desirable, still someone beyond mother and wife. And for a while, it worked. She'd come home energized, alive in ways she hadn't felt in years. The pressure valve had been released. Things between her and Marcus actually improved. Less tension, more laughter. But Marcus? Marcus was having a completely different experience. Elaine had assumed Marcus would struggle. He was steady, predictable, thoroughly average in his approach to everything. She figured he'd download an app, get overwhelmed, maybe go on one awkward date, then quietly give up. She was catastrophically wrong. 2 months in, Marcus started changing. More phone time. Smiling at texts. Caring about his appearance again. Buying new clothes. I met someone, he told her one evening, his face lighting up in a way she hadn't seen in years. That's wonderful, Elaine lied, while something uncomfortable twisted inside her. Her name is Charmy. She's in law school, 2nd year. She graduated top of her class. Law school. Of course. Marcus hadn't just found a casual connection. He'd matched with an accomplished, educated, ambitious young woman. How old is she? Elaine asked, already dreading the answer. 25. 9 years younger than Elaine. Fresh, accomplished, unburdened by the sacrifices that come with motherhood. That's great, honey, Elaine said, her voice hollow. I'm really happy for you. But she wasn't happy, not even close. She kept telling herself it would fizzle out, that Marcus would realize he had nothing in common with someone that young. She couldn't have been more wrong. Instead of ending, Marcus's relationship with Charmy intensified. Suddenly, Elaine's Friday nights weren't her own. She had to cancel plans because Marcus had something special with Charmy, and someone needed to watch the kids. Their kids. She'd lie in bed at midnight while Marcus whispered and laughed on phone calls in their bedroom. When she asked him to take it elsewhere, he looked at her like she was being unreasonable. Then the credit card statement started telling a story Elaine didn't want to read. Flowers, expensive chocolates, designer gifts, a handbag that cost more than their monthly grocery budget. When was the last time Marcus bought Elaine anything that wasn't practical? Their last anniversary, they'd ordered takeout and watched Netflix. That was it. But for Charmy, Marcus had transformed into a romantic hero. "Can I see what she looks like?" Elaine asked one evening, trying to sound casual. Marcus showed her a photo, and something inside Elaine cracked. Charmy was beautiful, young and fresh in that effortless way only 20-somethings can achieve. Perfect skin, shiny hair, confident smile. Standing in her university sweatshirt like someone who'd never had to sacrifice anything. Her parents paid for all her education, Marcus mentioned casually. She has no student debt. Lucky, right? Lucky indeed. Meanwhile, Elaine and Marcus were still paying off loans for the degree Elaine never finished. The degree she abandoned to raise their family. Every time Marcus's phone lit up with Charmy's name, Elaine watched his face transform. That smile, that warmth, that attention used to be hers. Not anymore. Their entire family schedule began revolving around Charmy's availability. Marcus working late on Thursdays. Except he wasn't working. He was having dinner with her. Weekend negotiations about which days he'd spend with his family versus his girlfriend. "You're seeing other people too," Marcus would remind her whenever she complained. But it was different. Elaine's connections were superficial, temporary, meaningless. She wasn't building an emotional life with someone else. She wasn't falling in love. Marcus was. 2 weeks before their anniversary, Elaine decided to be proactive. "So for our anniversary, I was thinking we could get a babysitter and go somewhere nice. Just us. We haven't had a real date night in forever." Marcus didn't even look up from his phone. "When's our anniversary again?" 9 years of marriage, and he couldn't remember the date. January 31st, Thursday after next. Marcus finally looked up, and Elaine saw that expression, the one that meant bad news. "Actually, I already made plans with Charmy that night." Elaine stared at him, certain she'd misheard. "You made plans with her on our wedding anniversary?" He sighed like she was being difficult. "I need to make up for missing her birthday last week. I was too exhausted from that work project. She was understanding, but I promised I'd make it up to her. Our anniversary was the only night that worked." "The only night that worked?" Elaine's voice rose. "What about your wife? What about our anniversary?" "We didn't do anything special last year," Marcus countered defensively. "You never seemed to care about anniversaries before." That was before. Before he started investing everything into someone else. Before she realized she was losing him. "So your girlfriend's missed birthday is more important than our wedding anniversary. Good to know where I stand." They argued until Marcus walked away to the guest bedroom while their children watched with frightened eyes. Something inside Elaine snapped. She grabbed her phone, reopened dating apps, and scheduled 3 dates in 5 days. She bought a new outfit she couldn't afford. She started going out constantly, leaving Marcus with the kids without explanation. But those dates were awful. She spent them distracted, checking her watch, wondering about homework and vitamins and bedtime routines. Her heart wasn't in it. She was just trying to hurt Marcus the way he was hurting her. She also started going through his phone whenever she could. What she found was worse than anything explicit. She found genuine connection. Sweet morning texts, inside jokes, thoughtful conversations about shared interests. Reading those messages hurt more than any betrayal ever could. The anniversary arrived like a death sentence. Marcus left that morning without acknowledging what day it was. No card, no flowers, no recognition at all. He came home that evening, showered, changed into the nice shirt Elaine had given him last Christmas, and headed for the door with barely a goodbye. "Don't wait up," he said without looking at her. After putting the kids to bed, Elaine sat on their couch, alternating between tears and rage. Around 11, she grabbed her phone. "Hope you're having fun celebrating our anniversary with her." His response came at midnight. "Please don't do this. We'll talk tomorrow." When Marcus came home the next day, Elaine was ready. The kids were at her mother's house. "We need to talk. This isn't working." "What isn't working, Elaine?" "This arrangement. You're falling for her. That wasn't the deal." Marcus looked at her for a long moment. The deal was we could see other people. That's what I'm doing. The deal was our marriage comes first, but you're spending everything on her instead of your family. And you've been dating constantly this week just to make me jealous. Elaine's face flushed. That's different. How is it different, Elaine? Because I'm not falling in love with anyone else. The words came out as a shout. Silence filled the room. And you think I am? Marcus's voice was dangerously quiet. Are you? Marcus ran his hand through his hair. I enjoy spending time with Charmy. She's intelligent. She's interesting. She makes me laugh. Is that a crime? It is when you're married to me. He laughed bitterly. You wanted an open marriage, Elaine. This is what that looks like. Did you think nothing would change between us? I thought we'd have some fun while keeping our family together. I didn't think you'd replace me. I haven't replaced you, Marcus said, but he wouldn't meet her eyes. Then end it. End things with her right now. Marcus finally looked directly at her. I don't want to. Those 5 words hung between them like a death sentence. You want to separate because of her? Not because of her. Because this isn't working anymore. You're unhappy. I'm unhappy. We're fighting constantly. The next 2 weeks were hell. Marcus moved into the guest room, temporarily. But Elaine knew what that meant. She called everyone she knew, painting herself as the victim, conveniently leaving out that she'd suggested the open marriage. She bombarded Marcus with photos of the kids, family memories, emotional appeals. One night, she put on lingerie and walked into the guest room without knocking. Marcus was working on his laptop. What are you doing? Elaine let her robe drop. Reminding you what you're giving up. For a moment, she saw something flicker in his eyes. Then he looked away. Elaine, don't. This isn't going to solve anything. She'd never felt so humiliated. The next morning, Marcus said he was looking at apartments. That night, Elaine did something unforgivable. While Marcus showered, she grabbed his phone and texted Charmy as him. Need to cancel tonight. Family emergency. Is everything okay? Charmy responded immediately. Have to deal with things with Elaine. She's not handling this well. I understand. Take the time you need. I'm here for you. When Marcus discovered what she'd done, the disappointment on his face was devastating. You had no right. And you have no right to throw away our family for some girl. Instead of arguing, Marcus just shook his head and left. An hour later, Elaine's friend texted, I'm at Bailey's downtown. Marcus just walked in with a young woman. Elaine called her neighbor, threw on makeup, and drove downtown. When she arrived, she marched to their table and slammed her hands down. Well, isn't this cozy? Conversations around them stopped. Marcus looked up, shocked, turning to anger. Elaine, what are you doing here? I thought I'd meet the famous Charmy, the woman destroying my family. Charmy's eyes widened. I think I should leave. No, Marcus said firmly. Elaine is leaving. He guided her outside while everyone stared. In the parking lot, Marcus finally let go. What the hell are you doing? Following me? Making scenes in public? I wanted to see the woman you're throwing our marriage away for. This is exactly why I can't do this anymore, Elaine. The drama, the manipulation, the guilt trips. Oh, I'm sorry my reaction to my husband's affair isn't convenient for you. Marcus laughed bitterly. It's not an affair when you suggested we see other people. You don't get to change the rules when you don't like the outcome. Are you in love with her? Marcus looked away. I don't know what I feel, but I know I can't live like this. The next day, Marcus packed and moved to his friend's place. 2 weeks later, he asked to meet at a coffee shop. I want to divorce Elaine. 5 words that shattered everything. I've talked to a lawyer. I'll be fair about everything. Assets, support, custody. I want this amicable for the kids. So you're just giving up? 9 years and 2 kids and you're walking away? You checked out long before I did. The open marriage was just the final step. The divorce was as amicable as a car crash. Marcus was reasonable about everything. Fair splits, flexible custody. He even offered to let Elaine keep the house. Meanwhile, Charmy became a fixture in the kids' lives. They'd come home from weekends talking about Dad's friend who made special pancakes and helped with homework. Her daughter mentioned Charmy braiding her hair. "She's not their mother," Elaine snapped. "Nobody's trying to replace you," Marcus said calmly. "But she's part of my life, and she cares about them. For now, until she gets bored and moves on. Sometimes you understand someone better after 6 meaningful months than 9 distracted years," Marcus replied. Those words stung worse than any insult. As the divorce finalized, Elaine tried dating again, but every man seemed lacking. Too boring, too needy, too shallow. Then came the morning she saw it on social media. Marcus had updated his relationship status. In a relationship with Charmy Patel. The photo showed them hiking together, genuinely happy. 3 months later, Elaine was scrolling Instagram when she saw a group photo. There they were, Marcus and Charmy. And on Charmy's left hand was an unmistakable diamond ring. They were engaged. Without thinking, Elaine drove to Marcus's apartment and sat in her car watching the entrance. After an hour, she saw them walking across the parking lot, holding hands, laughing, carrying groceries. Charmy leaned into him, and Marcus kissed the top of her head. That small gesture broke something in Elaine. He used to kiss her head like that, back when things were good. She slumped down as they passed, not wanting to be seen. On the drive home, strange calm settled over her. She'd spent a year fighting something inevitable, raging against a battle lost before it began. That night, Elaine sat on her couch and finally let herself truly cry. Not manipulative tears, but deep sobs of genuine grief. Because the terrible truth was that she'd started this. She'd suggested opening their marriage not to strengthen it, but because she was bored and restless. She wanted excitement without giving up security, freedom without consequences. She'd opened a door without considering who might walk through it or who might walk out. Part 8. The Wedding and Acceptance. The wedding invitation arrived on a Tuesday. A cream envelope with elegant calligraphy. Inside was a handwritten note from Charmy. "I know this might seem strange, but we'd genuinely like you there if you feel comfortable. The kids are so excited, and it would mean a lot to them to have both parents present." The note was so thoughtful, so kind. Elaine wanted to hate her for it, but the anger was becoming exhausting. The wedding was at a boutique hotel. Elaine wore a navy dress and brought her sister for support. The ceremony was beautiful. Her children performed their roles perfectly. Marcus looked happier than she'd seen him in years. Charmy was radiant. During the reception, Marcus came over. "Thanks for coming, it means a lot to the kids." "They seem happy," Elaine said, watching her children dance. "They are. Having you here makes it easier for them." "You look good, Elaine. Really good." "Therapy," she replied. "Turns out it helps." Later, Charmy appeared beside her. "Thank you for coming. I know this couldn't have been easy." Elaine could have caused drama. Instead, she just nodded. The kids were excited. "They talk about you all the time," Charmy said. "They're so proud of their mom. I want you to know I'm not trying to replace you. I could never do that. But I do love them, and I'll make sure they know how lucky they are to have you." "Just take care of them," Elaine managed. "And him, too." Driving home that night, Elaine felt something shift inside her. The rage that had been her constant companion had dulled to a manageable ache. Her therapist always said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." For 2 years, Elaine had been poisoning herself. That night, she deleted all the dating apps. The next morning, she called her sister. "I think I'm ready to actually move on. For real this time." It wouldn't be easy. She had work to do. On herself. On her relationship with her kids. On building a life not defined by anger and victimhood. But for the first time in 2 years, it felt possible. The truth Elaine finally understood was this. When you open a door, you can't control who walks through it or where it leads. You can't pick which consequences you'll accept. You can't change the rules when you realize you don't like the game. She'd learned this the hardest way possible, by losing everything she'd taken for granted. But maybe she could find something new in the space that loss created. Something real. Something honest. Something built on a foundation that wouldn't crumble the first time it was tested. Not today. Not tomorrow. But someday. One step at a time. So there it is. Elaine's story. A cautionary tale about the unexpected consequences of trying to fix a broken marriage with an unconventional solution. Here's what I want you to think about. Was Elaine wrong for suggesting an open marriage? Or did she and Marcus just fail to understand what they were really agreeing to? Could their marriage have been saved differently? Or was it already over before they opened that door? These are the questions that haunt us, aren't they? The what-ifs, the could-have-beens, the moments where one decision changes everything. If this story moved you, if it made you think, if it stirred something inside you, please hit that like button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you never miss stories like this. I'm Emma, and I'll see you in the next story. Until then, remember, some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. Choose wisely which ones you walk through. Take care of yourselves.